On the evening of November 21st, 2021, at least 5 people were killed and more than 40 were injured after a driver intentionally rammed his SUV through a Christmas parade in Waukesha, Wisconsin. The suspect has been charged with 5 counts of first-degree intentional homicide, with more charges possible in the coming weeks. The tragedy was compounded this week by new revelations that far-left bail reform policies had set the suspect free after he'd been charged with 16 different crimes in the past, including multiple violent felonies. Here's everything you need to know about the Waukesha Christmas Parade attack. Every year, the city of Waukesha, Wisconsin, hosts a Christmas parade on the Sunday before Thanksgiving. Schools, first responders, businesses, dance groups, and high school marching bands are all featured and celebrated by the community. This year's theme for the parade was comfort and joy. But around 4:39 p.m. local time, a red Ford Escape burst through police barricades and sped through the middle of the parade route. Video of the attack, which is disturbing, shows the vehicle weaving through the street, plowing over multiple marchers, including children, as attendees watched from nearby sidewalks. One police officer immediately tried to pursue the suspect, shooting at the car repeatedly in an attempt to stop it, which added to the chaos, making a lot of people think there was a shooter as well. Images of the aftermath show lawn chairs and strollers turned over in the street, along with the crumpled bodies of those hit. One mom said she saw the vehicle blaze by her family. She heard crashes, and people started screaming as she grabbed her 2 kids and took off running. Another resident brought her toddler to see Santa for the first time, but instead ended up seeing the SUV running people over and children on the ground bleeding. After the mayhem concluded, the city of Waukesha confirmed that 5 people had died and 48 were injured, with many transported themselves to get medical attention or being taken by ambulance. 18 children, including 3 sets of siblings, were among those taken to nearby hospitals after sustaining injuries, and 2 were left in critical condition. In response, the school district of Waukesha chose to cancel classes the next morning. Minutes after the attack, security camera footage shared with NBC shows the suspect approach a house near the parade route. The suspect told the homeowner that he was homeless and waiting for an Uber.
Hey, can I called an Uber and I'm supposed to be waiting for it over here, but I don't know when it's coming. Can you call it for me, please?
Unaware of what had just happened, the homeowner offered the suspect a jacket and a sandwich. A few moments later, police arrived and detained the suspect, though. In the short time that he's been in custody, details are already starting to come out about his checkered past and why he wasn't already in jail to begin with. Although Waukesha officials did not release the suspect's identity at first, several social media accounts reportedly heard his name on police scanner audio, and his identity was soon confirmed. The Daily Wire does not publish the name of mass killers or alleged mass killers, so we're not going to reveal his identity. But here's what we know about him. The suspect has a long criminal history, including one incident where he nearly ran a police officer over with his car while trying to resist arrest. Other incidents include disorderly conduct and battery, all with domestic abuse assessments. Another pending case against the suspect includes allegations that he fired a gun at a man after an altercation and possessed a firearm illegally, a felony. The court let him walk in that case in February 2021 after lowering his bail to just $500. Shockingly, this appears to be the second time this month that the suspect had attacked people with his car. Earlier in November, he was charged with running a woman over in a gas station parking lot following an altercation. She was left hospitalized, but he was released on just $1,000 bail. Those incidents left many people furious that such a violent criminal was let off with such small bail given his history. Only now, after several were killed and dozens hospitalized, are Milwaukee prosecutors launching an internal review into the suspect's low bail level. The internal review marks a possible change in policy for District Attorney John Chisholm, who in the past has bragged about, quote, not keeping individuals held unnecessarily on cash bail. He also routinely praises other progressive DAs who support similar policies, including the far-left District Attorney of San Francisco. As a result of what happened at the parade, the suspect now faces 5 counts of intentional homicide, with other charges likely coming. Police said that he was not being pursued as he sped through the parade. However, initial reports from MSNBC and CNN suggested that he unintentionally drove through the crowd while fleeing a separate incident.
There are times in the video where it appears there's deliberateness about striking people, and there's times in the video when there is not. And as Jim said, don't be surprised if this is a fleeing suspect from something else, and they were surprised to find themselves in a parade.
One CNN host was quick to assert that the tragedy resulted from the suspect, quote, fleeing another crime scene and was not an act of terrorism or retaliation. But as it turns out, the 39-year-old appears to be very vocal about his political views and is also an aspiring rapper who goes by the name Mathboy Fly. A YouTube video that has since been deleted shows him rapping in front of what appears to be the same SUV involved in the massacre. The suspect's social media pages, some of which have now been deleted, show support for Black Lives Matter. He shared a Malcolm X quote about helping Africa in its struggle to free itself from Western domination, posted an image calling police, quote, gang members, and one post from 2020 talked about assaulting white people, including one line that said, quote, the old white people too, knock them the expletive out. Many wondered if the suspect could have been motivated in his attack by Kyle Rittenhouse's not guilty verdict, which occurred just 2 days before the parade and in a neighboring part of Wisconsin. At the very least, he was certainly aware of the ruling. Though a jury in that case acquitted the 18-year-old Rittenhouse, the suspect posted a link to the story along with a disapproving facepalm emoji. But the media hasn't been too keen on making this connection and has tried to avoid talking about the suspect's background and potential motivations behind the attack. Right after the parade, an eyewitness told local news that the suspect was, quote, a black guy with dreadlocks. Once the host became clearly uncomfortable, the eyewitness affirmed that he himself is black and that his account of the tragedy had nothing to do with race.
Okay, well, listen, Rick.
And I'm not, listen, hey, I'm a black guy, so I'm not, saying that because I'm a white guy out of Waukesha saying black guys did it.
Okay.
But this is what her daughter said.
Rick, I should inform you right now, you are on live television.
NBC News correspondents announced that there was, quote, so far, no initial link to terror or the recent Rittenhouse verdict. Even as social media users were digging up the suspect's comments about Rittenhouse, along with his other, more radical posts. Meanwhile, outlets like CNN and MSNBC appear intent on calling the massacre an incident rather than an attack. This case is just unfolding, and you can stay up to date with new developments at dailywire.com. I'm Cabot Phillips. Thanks for watching.